Hi, I'm Linda Gray, the author of First Nations 101. Today, I wanted to give you a sneak peek at one of the chapters from the new second edition of First Nations 101. The chapter is Misappropriation. Appropriation is the taking or making use of something without authority or right. Indigenous cultural belongings, ceremonial objects, and human remains have been separated from Indigenous people since the time of first contact through theft, deception, sale, trade, coercion, and laws created to forcibly assimilate Indigenous people. A current issue is the appropriation of Indigenous identity for personal gain. This happens most often when jobs, bursaries, scholarships, research grants, or other personal gains can be obtained by falsely claiming Indigenous identity. These people are often referred to as race shifters or pretendians. The following two passages are from the second edition of First Nations 101. Many people who are falsely claiming Indigenous identity point to an Indigenous ancestor from the 1600s to the 1800s, possibly because it makes it harder for others to disprove their claims. More importantly, they usually don't seek to know anything about their ancestor, have never claimed Indigenous identity before, and never support Indigenous efforts or organizations. Most Indigenous people view being Indigenous as much more than just having Indigenous blood. They also focus on relationality, lived experience, and connections to and from Indigenous communities. Many Indigenous people note that being Indigenous is both claiming Indigenous heritage and being claimed by Indigenous people and communities." End quote. An important part of reconciliation is helping Indigenous communities to fight against all forms of cultural and identity appropriation. Reconciliation can only happen if we all commit to ongoing action and support on issues important to Indigenous people, such as this one. I invite you to learn more by reading the second edition of First Nations 101 and to help me reach more people by following me on Facebook and Twitter at First Nations 101. You can find out how to purchase the book at firstnations101.com.